5 Premier League players that could force themselves into the England World Cup squad. Archie Gray up first. He could be a very solid option for England, who at the moment it looks as though we don't have a reliable number 6 position. Declan Rice, of course, will play it, but is he better as an 8? Mikel Arteta thinks so because he signed Zuma Bedi. So do I think that Archie Gray could come into this squad? Yes. Would he have to have an amazing season to do so? Absolutely. So I'm unsure whether he will or not, but Archie Gray is certainly someone with a consistent run of games that could force his way into this squad. Speaking of midfielders, the next one is Josh King for Fulham. Of course, a very young player, but what we're seeing with Spain and Lamine Yamal, these players, they get given shots and they don't look back. Will King do that in a position in centre midfield where England aren't blessed with the best players in the world? Maybe. Another player that plays in a position that England aren't blessed with, and that is Nico O'Reilly, who can play left back and centre mid. So a very versatile player in there. Lewis Skelly, a very similar example of a player that can do both. O'Reilly, will he get the chances for Manchester City to go on and prove that? I'm not 100% sure right now. But O'Reilly, for me, is a player that does have potential to make it there. But again, it's the same as everyone else. He needs some more consistency in the games. Do I think he'll get it? Maybe not. Similar to Archie Gray, I think there's maybe a couple of players in front of him at his club at this time. Now then, for the last 2 spots, it's going to be 2 wingers. As I mentioned, the winger positions for England are very, very stacked. We've got so many great players. However, the reason why I've gone with these 2 players at the end is just because I see these 2 as having a real possibility of getting in. Of course, it might not be this World Cup. We might not rush them in. However, for the next World Cup, I'm expecting both of these players to be on the plane. And that is, of course, Rio Nugamoa and Max Dowman. Max Dowman, of course, would be 16 by the time the World Cup came, and Rio Nugamoa would be 17. 16 and 17 going to the World Cup, it would be crazy. I could only ever see one of them going. I think that Max Dowman going would maybe be rushing it a bit too soon. I mean, it's the same for Rio, to be fair. But ultimately, these 2 have got bags of potential and their clubs are giving them chances. I can't believe how much faith that Mikel Arteta is putting into Max Dowman. And same with Arne Slot and Rio Nugamoa. Bringing him on against Newcastle at St James's Park to go and get a winner. That he did score. Just crazy to me that these young players are given so many chances like they are. Of course, they deserve them. And I think what we're seeing is we're seeing a bit of a shift in terms of mentality. 16, 17-year-olds 5-6 years ago weren't really doing it as they are today. So there's a real confidence about these young lads. So who am I to say they couldn't make it? It would be a risk to take them, but they will be knocking at Tuchel's door to get on that plane.